Hello everybody, welcome back to the CPA003 YouTube channel. Today I'll be presenting something that I am quite happy to announce, which is the GeoFS Sound Pack Ultimate, currently in V1.1 for the GeoFS 4.0 flight simulator. It's worth noting there is also cross-compatibility with the 3.9 version as well, if you prefer that one. In this video, I'll be going over how to install the sound pack and also the various features it includes, specifically with a demonstration in the A350 default airliner, as you can see on the screen right now. Alright, so let's get into it. Firstly, for the download, you're going to want to head over to the sound pack via the link in the description of this video. Then once you get onto this page, you're going to want to click this releases tab right here. Once you get onto this releases tab, you're going to want to click the v1.1.txt file, which is my preferred version. You're simply going to click it and it's going to download. Then you're going to open that. So this is TextEdit, which is default for Mac. For Windows, I don't know, it might be Notepad, but what you're going to do is you're simply just going to select all of it. So for Mac, that would be Command A. For Windows, Control A, and then I'm going to hit Command C, which would be Control C for Windows. Copy all of this. Then you can go to a new tab, go under Temper Monkey. I already have the script installed right here, but let's say I were to delete this script, then I can simply go into a new one, select all of this, hit backspace or delete, and then just hit Command V to paste all of this. And as you can see, it's a very long file, but it should work. Then I'll hit File, and then I'll simply hit Save. And that's how you install, nothing else to do. So once you spawn into the simulator, you're going to start to hear the engine layers, obviously. For now, I have the engine switched off. So just like the Boeing 777 Sound Pack, which I released a video I believe a couple months ago, you are going to hear that background ambient noise in the exterior, which you're currently hearing right now. Alright, so before I go into the more aircraft specific features, I'll be going over the new user interface. Right here we have the volume slider, which similar to the Boeing 777 Sound Pack simply controls the volume. Next we have the hide panel key, which controls the key down that makes the UI appear or disappear, as I'm going to show you by pressing period. By default it's set to period, but you can change this simply by clicking here and then choosing a different key for this, for example D. That also works, but I'm going to keep it as period for now. Next we have the GPWS callouts on-off toggle, which is one of the new additions for this sound pack, and the fasten seatbelt on or off switch, which I can give a test out right now. So it just gives you that in-cabin chime, small touch. Next we have live ATC. Our database is pretty small right now, but the way it works is you simply type in an ICAO and it'll determine which frequencies we have available. So for example, if we wanted clearance delivery, we click open ATC, and then since there are multiple, you get to choose which one you want. So let's say I want number 2, I click OK, and this will open up a simply open up a new window right here. I'll move it right over here from atc.net. You can click play, and then that's simply going to be playing in the background, and you'll be able to hear the live ATC from these airports as you fly in GeoFS. A pretty neat touch in my opinion, and I enjoyed making this feature a lot. And if you want to close it, you can simply close it via the pop-up or via the button right here. Now, stepping into the cockpit, and you'll immediately notice the ambient sound looping in the background. While this cockpit, similar to the 777, has many unique sounds, two I'll show you right now are the HUD and the cockpit tray table. So for the HUD, you can simply press Z, which would be the GeoFS key down that would operate the animation, and you'll get that sound effect. So I'll do that one more time to close it. And one more is for the tray table right here, which you can get by pressing X. And then I'll do it one more time. Yeah, those are the two new features for the GeoFS Sound Pack Ultimate. It's worth noting that most aircraft do not have animations, so this is something that's more specific to this aircraft. So similar to the Boeing 777 Sound Pack, we've decided to keep the same cabin ambient sound, which I'll let you guys hear right now. Okay, now's about time I think we give ourselves a good engine start, and you're going to get to hear both the interior and exterior layers for the engine start, as well as the cockpit click sound, which was also the same on the Boeing 777 Sound Pack. Now that we have finished our engine start, you can hear the engine layers, and I'm going to be giving ourselves a reverse thrust pushback. Like I'm still hearing the directional audio. Before we depart, I'm going to go ahead and set 2 notches of flaps, and one of the updates for this Sound Pack V1.1 is a new Airbus-based flap sound, which I'm going to demonstrate right now. One more thing before we depart, I'm going to show the same speed brake noise that is going to play in the cockpit when the air brakes are activated. Now I'm going to begin our taxi to the runway, and you're going to get to hear a little bit more of the engine layers. You can really hear that directional audio. Now I'm lined up for takeoff at runway 26 right at Paris Charles de Gaulle, and I'm going to turn on the seatbelt sign. As you can hear, there's the sound, and I'm going to go ahead and line up on the runway. Before I play this clip, you're going to be able to hear the Doppler effect in action here. Now, as you're hearing right now, you heard some alarms because that is part of the GPWS package. But now I'm going to go ahead and bring the gear up and you're going to hear those sounds. Now the gear has fully come up and I'm controlling the aircraft manually. You can go ahead and put back one of the notches of flaps. And I can also bring our engine throttle down a little bit. With the engine run back sound. Another feature I added to the sound pack that I'm going to talk about right now is airborne versus ground cabin ambience. So basically there are two different sound files that play and loop in the background depending whether the aircraft is on the ground or in the air. And the airborne one does get louder as the plane increases in speed, which does make sense. Before I continue talking, let's hear one more flap sound. Very nice. And another thing that I'm going to talk about is also the altitude dependent buzzsaw layer. So something about the engine of an aircraft is that as you increase in altitude, since there's less air going through it, you're not going to hear that supersonic air. This is what we call a buzzsaw. A buzzsaw is simply when the fan blades reach supersonic speed. So what I've done to simulate this is that as the aircraft increases in altitude, we're not going to hear as much buzzsaw sound from the engine, which is realistic to aircraft in real life. Okay guys, so now I am on a approach path for runway 27 left of Paris Charles de Gaulle, and I'm going to use this just to show you how an approach would work with the sound pack. Featuring the GPWS callouts and alarms, as well as just some of the other features that I've already shown, such as the flaps. Alright guys, so now we are fully set up for landing on runway 27 left. Our gear is out, our flaps are fully extended out, and as you can see we have the runway ahead of us. As we proceed through the altitudes, we're going to hear the GPWS callouts proceeding. Something worth noting is that the GPWS callouts are much louder in the exterior view than the interior, which does make a lot of sense. Alright guys, so now we're on final approach, and I'm going to go ahead and go manual soon, so you'll get to hear the autopilot disengage sound, as well as some more GPWS.
500. 300. 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 30, 20, retard 10,
So now I've just landed, and as you can hear, we also have some tire screech sounds as well. And because brakes are on, we stopped really quickly. And also I forgot to mention before that, we also kept the same low pitch tire noise for the cockpit view, which I think adds a bit of realism as the plane speeds down the runway at speeds of over 45 knots. Now we're going to go and head over to an exterior view so you can also hear the exterior gear sound as the plane touches down, as well as some more Doppler effect.
$300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5. Stall.
So as you can hear, you can really hear that deep bassy sound. That is the exterior gear sound.
400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
As you hear there, you can immediately hear that cabin ambient sound difference as soon as we hit the ground. And before we go ahead and wrap up the video, we can go ahead and see these spoilers get put away and hear the flaps come up once more. Go. And one more thing to do before we end the video is just hear that engine shutdown sound, which I'm going to go ahead and do now. With that being said, that's going to conclude this video. This sound pack also includes sounds for both the Boeing 777 and 737, as well as both the A320 CEO and NEO families. Also, it does include the A330 CEO and A340 as well. With that being said, once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this sound pack showcase, and I'll see you in the next one.